We cut back to Izuku running with the group. As Izuku's catching up, saying, "Wait for me, guys." As Darius says, "Guys, Izuku's right behind us, so don't worry." As they keep running for a few hours now, they hear a helicopter pass by. And Kenji mentions, "Guys, that's Masrani's helicopter. That's his call sign on the tail." As Izuku says, "Who is Mr. Masrani?" As the goat basically hides behind Izuku's leg. As Bumpy, in dinosaur language, says, "Guys, we need to hide. The other indominus is here. Guys, we need to hide." As Izuku is the only one that understands this, and he's trying to help Bumpy get the campers somewhere safe, saying, "Everyone, follow me." As he's going deeper into the jungle, further away, as the campers wonder why is Izuku going away, as they notice that Indy's back, with a few bruises and a cracked horn, and a few missing teeth. And all that Izuku can hear is, "Izuku, I swear I'll find you and end you." As Izuku thinks in his head, Jesus, she's not good with words, eh? Oh God, it's spreading to me. As the rest of the campers just follow Izuku after Indy came out of the forest. As they hear a huge bang after that, and Darius hears pteranodons. As, Izuku's perspective, he hears, "Yes, we're free! We are finally free!" from the distance. As he's trying to figure out what's going on, a whole swarm of pteranodons surround him like, vultures. They keep pecking at him as Izuku's saying, "Get away, please. Ah." As the pteranodons are basically saying, "Never, since we are free and we haven't eaten in days, might as well take our chances." As Izuku's basically clawing one of them, and he noticed the campers going into a small cave. He figures out the math and he can't fit, so he has to go an alternate direction. And he heads to a distant location. Cheese went with the campers to the underground cave. As the campers say, "Everyone, we're safe, I think." As Ben says, "Guys, if Cheese is here, where is Izuku?" As Ben points to Cheese, basically on the wall, because goats do be a goat. Anyway, as Izuku's running deeper into the jungle, as he hears the pteranodons say, "Forget it. He might as well die due to his sister. Come on, let's get out of here." As Izuku's running through the forest, pushing trees aside, and he finally enters a clearing. He stops and says, "Holy hell. I think I'm safe. I'm safe." As he notices a strange smell, the smell of death. As he follows it, and he sees a literal bloodbath. Corpses everywhere, and, one person's impaled by a tree, and one of them is just pancaked in the water. as Izuku almost froze up at this. Because if you don't remember, he doesn't think he's a hybrid dinosaur, he just thinks he has a strange quirk. But he'll soon learn what he actually is. As we cut to Izuku's, well, how should I put this? Mother of sorts? Yeah, Inko. As we cut back to Inko arriving to a boat, as she basically explains to the dockman, saying, "Can I at least continue my research of bringing dead things back?" As the dockman says, "Sorry, ma'am, we have to leave no evidence. Come on, get on the boat." As Inko says, but, as the dockman says, "Come on!" As Inko says, okay, I'm going. She runs over to the boat and goes on to it, obviously. But she looks back and says, "I'm sorry, Izuku. If only you were the real one." Well, she thinks that it's the dinosaur named after her dead son, but really it is her dead son reincarnated somehow. Anyway. Sorry. My knuckles were getting stiff. Anyway. Back to the campers. As the campers are trying to keep Cheese on the boat, everything goes the same. But Cheese, how should I put this? As they're in the Mosasaurus area, and as Yasmina is trying to distract the Mosasaurus, and by the way, Yasmina doesn't hold a grudge at Sammy. Why? Because Sammy never worked with Manticore in this universe. Basically, the reason she's here because she does supply all the meat for the park. And not just for some spy stuff. But as Yasmin is trying to sacrifice or save the campers, before the Mosasaurus clamps down on Yasmina, Cheese comes by and headbutts her out of the way. But unfortunately, Cheese gets eaten. As the campers are just shocked at this. Yasmina does kind of break her ankle at this, but she's basically shocked. Sure, she's in pain, but she's shocked that a goat saved her, because that's what you don't expect every day, because you don't expect to be saved by a goat. Anyway, back with Izuku. As Izuku is just throwing up at the sight of this, he finally stops and says, okay, this confirms my sister is a psycho. How did I even get a sister anyway? All I remember is just not having one. As Izuku remembers a place, the genetics lab. As Izuku says, maybe I can get a laptop and possibly figure out how did I get my sister. That could work. As Izuku retraces his steps and ends back to the now kinda destroyed lab or genetics lab, Izuku clenches his fist without trying to hurt himself with those middle claws, breaks down the wall, and grabs a laptop. Sure, he has to put his eye closer to it and use his claws carefully as not to break the computer. It's basically like typing in something with your fingernails instead of, well, your fingertips. Anyway, this works, and he finds a video called Experiment E760. As he clicks on it, and it shows his mother, Inko Midoriya. as he says, Mom? As Inko basically is explaining the experiment and everything about using her son's hair to bring, Izuku back. And this is the episode where Izuku will learn that he's not a human. But as when Inko mentions that her son died in a car crash, all the memories come back to Izuku. He basically holds his head as if you had had a splitting headache. He screams out. Almost every dinosaur can hear him until it stops. Izuku goes on his knees and basically, how should I put this? Starts crying of sorts. Well, happy tears, really. As he says, "Thanks, Mom." With a slight smile on his face. As 5 hours pass by, and it's practically night. As Izuku says, how long have I been crying for? As he basically hears a loud bang from the distance, and he follows a trail of smoke, and it's surrounded by pteranodons. As he says, I guess that's the monorail. Jesus. As he tries to hide in the trees so he doesn't get spotted by the pteranodons, it works. But as he gets to the Mosasaurus Stadium, he notices the campers in one of the monorails, as he's basically saying, Izuku says, "Guys," as he tries to get their attention by roaring and waving his hands, saying, "Hey, over here, it's me, remember?" As the other campers look to see Izuku, as Kenji says, "Hey, look, it's Izuku, he's alive." As Darius says, "Come on, we have to get him on the monorail." As Sammy says, "Wait, wouldn't that bring a dinosaur to the mainland?" As everyone stops. As Ben says, "Yeah, Sammy, you do have a point. Although bumpy, we can't make it an exception for Izuku, right?" As Yasmina says, "We can't." As Mina says, "No, he's the one that saved us. He's the one that saved me from before getting eaten by his possibly sister." As Yasmina comes back with, "He's just a dinosaur. And his sister was crazy. Who knows? Maybe he's gonna trick us and probably eat us." As everyone stops at this. As they all look down and look at Izuku. Izuku with a face that basically says, "What's going on?" As all the campers say, "Sorry, Izuku," and they just leave him. But without leaving a note that flies over to Izuku, the wind carrying it. Izuku grabs it and reads it. As Izuku reads it, I already said that. It says, sorry, Zuko, we cannot bring you to the mainland because people will freak out about a real dinosaur. And on the other side it says, by the way, Cheese saved Yasmina before getting eaten. May Cheese rest in peace. As Izuku is basically looking over to the Mosasaurus lagoon, as he says, "Damn you, you overgrown whatever," as the Mosasaurus pokes his snout out and says, "What?" As Izuku throws over a piece of railing into the mouth, as the Mosasaurus basically choking on it, like going back into the water. As Izuku's basically mad with grief. He storms over to the, near the central, the pyramid thing, yeah. As Izuku is just walking over, he hears a conversation going on, saying, "I thought you were listening to me. I thought you were my loyal subject." As he hears another voice, "Well, guess what? I'm not letting you kill my dad."